Okay, morning guys. So today we're going to head to Moreland. We're going to have a chat with some of the locals just to see what their take is on their council who have banned Australia Day celebrations, just to see how they feel about it. Apparently it was voted in 7-4 by the Socialist Green component of the council. Now, on the day that happened, apparently the council chambers were full with local ratepayers up in arms about this decision. The mayor, by all accounts, threatened to have them thrown out for, have them thrown out just for protesting against council's decision to ban Australia Day. Apparently there's been no consultation. And what does really stand out is Aboriginal elder Ian Hunter, and I quote, states, "How dare you take Australia Day away from us?" So that speaks volumes. So we're going to head into town. We're going to talk to some of the locals and see what they have to say. So we'll catch up with you guys later.
Morning, sir. So just a couple of short questions, really. What's your take? Well, are you a local, firstly?
Yes. Yeah.
Ratepayer?
Yep.
Okay, cool. That's good. Regards to council's decision to ban Australia Day, what's your thoughts on that?
Look, I think that's taking things a bit far. I mean, I understand their concerns, but I don't think it's a decision that needs to be brought down to council level.
Okay, so it's definitely a federal issue, yeah?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely. And now they've actually compared it to the Holocaust, which is absolutely abhorrent. I mean, again, as a local, what's your thoughts on that?
Look, again, it's probably council, getting a bit too involved where they don't need to. It's a bit sensationalised, if you ask me.
Yeah, okay, and I mean, going down the track, would you vote differently because of some of these issues, or?
Possibly, but I don't. I generally assess most elections on their, on their merits at the time. So okay. I may do at the time.
Okay. And just regards Rubbish Day, obviously the council will slap a fine on you if you put the wrong rubbish in the wrong bin. Now, recently, their refuge collectors have been putting it all in the same truck. What's your take on that?
Double standards, really.
Double standards. So council really should stick to rates, rubbish and roads.
Most definitely.
Okay, listen, thanks for your time. Cheers, thank you. Good morning, sir. Now, we're just asking questions about Moreland's decision to ban Australia Day. And what are your thoughts about it? Do you think it's right or wrong?
I think it's wrong.
Yeah. Do you reckon it's... why do you reckon it's wrong?
Well, because it has been there for so many years, why they should change it, Yeah.
Okay, listen, that's good. Okay, thanks very much.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, ladies. So just a couple of questions. You both residents of Moreland Council?
Yes.
Yes, you are. Now, what's your take on Moreland Council banning Australia Day? Have you heard about that?
Yes, have heard about it. It's a disgrace.
Yeah, I think it's wrong.
Yeah, okay, it is wrong. Yeah. Was there any consultation? Have you had any consultation from the council at all?
None at all.
No.
No. Can I just ask you why you don't want to show your faces?
I haven't done my makeup. Sorry, mate.
What about you?
I don't want to be called names just because I believe that we should be celebrating all Australia Day is all about enjoying everything about Australia and everybody in Australia. I don't want to be called names because that's what I believe.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. And what's your take on Councillor Sue Bolton, associating Australia Day with the Holocaust? What's your take on that?
I've never heard anything more despicable in my life.
It's not Nazis for appreciating our country.
Yeah, wrong, totally wrong.
More than totally wrong.
Okay, and just finally, the rubbish removal. There's been a lot of publicity about people being fined for putting the wrong rubbish in the bins. Now, last couple of days has come to notice that the rubbish people have been just emptying all the bins into the same truck. Who work for Moreland Council. How do you feel about that?
It's lucky Helen Davidson is on her way out. She's a disgrace, that woman. She should never have gotten elected in.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon you'd vote for for a change of council in the next local elections, or what's your take?
Most definitely, they are out.
Yeah, and as for the rubbish, I'm really, really disgusted considering I myself have received a fine, and to receive a fine and then to find out that the rubbish just gets picked up all in the one truck and they don't care, yet I'm the one that's getting the fine. They should be reimbursing me.
Okay, all right. So 2 unhappy locals. Okay, thanks for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, sir. We're just doing some local questions on current issues in Moreland. Are you a local person?
Yeah, I live in Coburg, in Harding Street.
Okay. So you're a ratepayer?
I'm retired now.
Okay. Yeah. So you're a local. Now, what's your thoughts on Moreland Council banning Australia Day?
I disagree. Australia Day, it has been recognized to be a right diet until now. I don't see why they have to change it. Maybe because they are Aboriginal or they think there is they were violent against them. I do agree that Australia Day is to stay where it is now.
So you feel Australia Day is for all, isn't it? You know, we're all Australians together, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. We are all Aborigine, especially, and immigrant like us.
That's right. We're all the same, aren't we? We're all Australians, absolutely. And how do you feel about Councillor Sue Bolton comparing Australia Day to the Holocaust?
No, I think it is very bad similitude and doesn't make any sense for me.
Absolutely. And do you feel when you vote next, you'll vote differently because of what's happening?
Last time when I voted Liberal, I think Malcolm Tembo is doing a very good job now. I think I'm going to stick with him, not with the Shorten.
How about like local council? You know, local issues. Would you vote differently?
No.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much for your time. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, hi sir. Thanks very much for sparing us the time this morning.
Most welcome,
just,
yeah.
Regards Moreland Council.
Yeah.
You are a local, are you?
Yeah, that's
and
right.
you're a ratepayer?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, how do you feel about the council banning Australia Day celebrations?
No, that isn't a good idea. I don't think we should ban something like that. Even if we are very inclusive, the basic thing is we've all come to Australia, so we better get with the act. Otherwise, we can go back to our countries.
Totally, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how would you feel about the councillor Sue Bolton comparing it to the Holocaust?
No, that's a bit extreme. I don't think it can be compared to the Holocaust. Yeah. But she's a person who expresses strong feelings, so I know where she's coming from. But yeah, well, using that analogy wouldn't really... It's not Australian.
Yeah, okay, thanks very much. And just regards the rubbish removal that the council have had done recently, it appears that they obviously fine people for putting, rubbish in the wrong bins, ratepayers in the wrong bins and what have you. Now, the council collections, they've been just collecting it and putting it all in the same place. How do you feel about that?
No, that was a bit of a shocker. In fact, none of us could believe our ears that we take all the trouble of washing bottles, like milk bottles, putting it in the yellow bin, and then we hear it's all going in the same place. It seems like a waste, because then they're ripping us off. Why do you have to keep a yellow bin? Why do we pay extra for that, So I think they should do the right thing, because once we do our part, they've got to do their part of the bargain. So if that's really happening, and people can find out more about that, I don't think the council should get away with this.
Okay, thank you. And just finally, obviously with what's been happening with the Moreland Council of late, would you vote differently in the next local elections?
Yeah, I'd reconsider voting for the same people, because we kind of give them a trust. It's like the AFL teams, when we vote for the Tigers, we go for it whether they win or they lose. But no, these guys need to really rethink their priorities. They're not there to just rule the roost. They've got to deliver the services.
Okay, listen, thank you very much indeed for your time.
So I'll just ask a question.
Sure, yeah.
About the Australia Day and all that.
Yeah.
Did they consult you?
No, that was the thing. They normally do, they send flyers out and all. This seemed to be just something that the people on big chairs decide on their own, but they didn't ask the citizens. And
we'd like to have a voice in it, like, because we feel strongly that this country has given us so much and we belong here, and we better, we'd love to feel that way, because not celebrating it is also exclusion. Yeah, that's the thing.
You're absolutely spot on. Hey, listen, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Okay, morning, sir. We're just doing a couple of short questions on Moreland Council. Are you aware of, or did you have any consultation about Moreland banning Australia Day?
No, I heard nothing on it.
What's your thoughts on banning Australia Day celebrations?
I don't think they should, because things should represent the whole country, not sections of it. If you start letting them have communal things, you could get right up like India with the Hindus, Muslims and Sikhs all fight.
Yeah, so it's quite divisive, really, isn't it? We're all one people, aren't we?
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and so you obviously wasn't consulted on it. What's your thoughts on the council, particularly Sue Bolton saying that Australia Day is a liken to the Holocaust?
Oh, that's sectional again. It's arguing from one end against everybody else.
That's a shocking thing to say, isn't it? Comparing the two.
It's unflattering. It's not positive.
Yeah. No. Okay. Listen. Thanks very much for your help. Thank you. Yes. Good morning, sir. Now, are you a local ratepayer?
I am.
So Moreland Council, yes.
Yep.
No, so just a couple of questions. I suppose firstly on the rubbish bins, obviously council will fine you if you put the wrong rubbish in the wrong bin. How do you feel about the garbos just putting everything in the same truck and taking it away? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I thought it was a bit rough, because some people put some nasty things in rubbish bins, like dead animals and stuff.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Another local issue has been happening recently is Moreland Council's decision to ban Australia Day. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, this belongs to Australia. It doesn't belong to the council.
That's right.
I don't see any point in trying to change a good bit of history.
Absolutely. It's really that's a federal issue, is it not?
Pardon?
It's a federal issue, not a local council issue.
Well, why is the council bringing it up? And they had a group up there protesting the other week. They crashed the council meeting.
Yeah. Locals maybe just fed up with it.
A hornet's nest somewhere.
And one of the local councillors, Sue Bolton, she compared Australia Day celebrations to the Holocaust. I mean, what's your take on that?
No, I think she belongs in another planet. I really do. Shouldn't be in council. Shouldn't be in any of that stuff.
And were you, as a local, did you have any consultation about Australia Day being banned?
No, nobody's approached me directly, but I've seen in bits and pieces in the paper, and I'm not really happy about it, no.
Okay, listen, thanks very much for your time, sir. Thank you. Yes, good morning, sir. Now, are you a local ratepayer?
I am.
So Moreland Council, yes?
Yep.
No, so just a couple of questions. I suppose firstly on the rubbish bins, obviously council will fine you if you put the wrong rubbish in the wrong bin. How do you feel about the garbos just putting everything in the same truck and taking it away? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I thought it was a bit rough, because some people put some nasty things in rubbish bins, like dead animals and stuff.
Yeah, okay, that's right. Another local issue has been happening recently is Moreland Council's decision to ban Australia Day. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, this belongs to Australia. It doesn't belong to the council.
That's right.
I don't see any point in trying to change a good bit of history.
Absolutely. It's really that's a federal issue, is it not?
Pardon?
It's a federal issue, not a local council issue.
Well, why is the council bringing it up? And they had a group up there protesting the other week. They crashed the council meeting.
Yeah. Locals maybe just fed up with it.
A hornet's nest somewhere.
And one of the local councillors, Sue Bolton, she compared Australia Day celebrations to the Holocaust. I mean, what's your take on that?
No, I think she belongs in another planet. I really do. Shouldn't be in council. Shouldn't be in any of that stuff.
And were you, as a local, did you have any consultation about Australia Day being banned?
No, nobody's approached me directly, but I've seen in bits and pieces in the paper, and I'm not really happy about it, no.
Okay, listen, thanks very much for your time, sir. Thank you. Okay, hi. So, just a quick question. What's your thoughts on Moreland Council banning Australia Day?
It's terrible.
Yeah, you're terrible. Why do you think it's terrible?
Absolutely terrible. It just causes so much division.
So, Australia Day is for all people?
All people.
Okay.
We're all equal. All equal.
We are all equal. Okay, thanks very much for your help. Thank you. Okay, so after talking to various local ratepayers, it's very obviously they're not happy. They're not happy at all. Socialist and Green councils, they're just hell-bent on destroying social cohesion, and it has to stop. It just has to stop. You know, Australia Day is a federal issue, not councils. Councils should be working for the ratepayer. They need to stick to the roads, rates and rubbish and stop with their own agendas. Australia Day is the 26th of January. Okay, so after talking to various local ratepayers, it's very obviously they're not happy. They're not happy at all. Socialist and Green councils, they're just hell-bent on destroying social cohesion, and it has to stop. It just has to stop. You know, Australia Day is a federal issue, not councils. Councils should be working for the ratepayer. They need to stick to the roads, rates and rubbish and stop with their own agendas. Australia Day is the 26th of January.